You're listening to the Peace with Anxiety podcast. I am your host, Irene Evangelou, anxiety counselor and clinical hypnotherapist. I'll be coming to you every week to share actionable tips, simple strategies, and useful resources to help you break free from high-function anxiety. We'll be covering how to recognize and understand your anxiety, strategies to change your thoughts and feelings, and ways to implement long-lasting change. If you're trying to overcome people-pleasing behaviors, navigate anxiety, living in self-doubt, or something else keeping you stuck, then you are in the right place. I know that you're ready to get to the next level of your life, feeling free, calm, confident, and in control. So let's get started. Hello and welcome back to episode 25 of the Peace with Anxiety podcast. I am your host, Irene, and I am so glad you're here with me today. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. And if you are a returning listener, thank you for joining me again. If you don't know me already, I am a counselor and clinical hypnotherapist, and I specialize in supporting professional women with high-function anxiety. And today, I am excited to share a very special announcement with all of you. Over the past few months, I had the incredible opportunity to connect with many of you, and especially moms who are navigating the challenges of high-function anxiety while managing the demands of motherhood. Through our conversations, it has become clear to me that this is a unique and often overlooked area of need. And the more I listened, the more I realized how crucial it was to provide personalized support and resources for moms experiencing high-function anxiety. That's why I have decided to shift the focus of my practice and this podcast to better support you, high-achieving moms who are doing it all and feeling the weight of anxiety behind the scenes. Being a mom is one of the most rewarding roles in the world, but it can also be incredibly demanding and stressful. When you add high-function anxiety into the mix, it can feel overwhelming. You're striving to be the best mom you can be, juggling countless responsibilities and often putting immense pressure on yourself to maintain a perfect font. I see you, I hear you, and I understand the unique challenges you face. My goal is to create a supportive space where we can explore these challenges together and find practical solutions that help you feel calm, confident, in control of your mind and body, and create balance in your life. Now, in this week's episode, we are going to dive deep into what high-function anxiety looks like in moms. And high-function anxiety can be particularly tricky to identify because on the outside, everything may seem fine, even perfect. But beneath that calm exterior, there can be a storm full of worries, self-doubt, and a relentless strive for perfection. Now, before we start talking about the signs, I want to say first and foremost that if you notice that you relate to one or more of these, or even all of them, that is not a bad thing. There is nothing wrong with you, and they don't make you any less of an amazing mom. This episode and this podcast is all about bringing awareness to your thoughts, feelings, and actions, validating your experience, and provide practical strategies to help ease the overwhelming impact of anxiety so that you can still be you and provide for your family, support them, while at the same time you lead a more balanced and fulfilling life. So let's talk about the signs. A key characteristic of high-function anxiety in moms is perfectionism and overscheduling. Many moms with high-function anxiety strive for perfection in every aspect of their lives: parenting, work, career, household management, and personal appearance. You are dedicated to be the best mom you can be, and you set very high standards for yourself in every aspect of your life. Every morning you probably wake up before everyone else to prepare a healthy, home-cooked breakfast for your family. You ensure your kids' lunches are perfectly balanced with nutritious foods, cutting their sandwiches into fun shapes and maybe even including handwritten notes for each of them. You take great care in your children's appearance, making sure their clothes are clean, ironed, and coordinated. You also maintain a meticulous, clean, and organized home. You might feel compelled to vacuum every day, keep surfaces spotless, and ensure that every toy is in its designated place by the end of the day. And any minor mess or change in the plan can make you feel anxious and as though you're failing in your role. In addition to the household responsibilities, yours and their schedule is likely packed, filling every moment with activities and responsibilities to maintain a sense of control and productivity. Your day might be filled with numerous activities to keep your children engaged and stimulated. Perhaps you sign them up for swimming lessons, piano classes, and soccer practice, believing that these will help them develop well-rounded skills and keep them ahead of their peers. Your calendar is likely filled with play dates, volunteer commitments at your kids' school, and family events. You also make time for your job, working late into the night after your kids are asleep to ensure you meet all your deadlines and exceed expectations at work as well. Now, on the other side of all the amazing things you do, you often feel exhausted and overwhelmed, but you might brush off these feelings, believing that you just need to try a little bit harder. And despite your outward appearance of having everything under control, you often feel a constant sense of inadequacy. You worry that you're not doing enough for your children, for your home, and that you are not performing well at work. So, of course, this internal pressure and lack of self-compassion can lead to burnout, leaving you more physically and emotionally drained. Now, before we continue, the purpose of this episode is to just recognize these patterns and understand how they can take a significant toll on your well-being. And over the next few weeks, we will talk more about what you can do about it. But for today, allow yourself some grace, and no matter what you think, you are an amazing mom. Alright, let's dive into another common characteristic of high-function anxiety in moms, and that is constant worry and overthinking. It's not unusual to find yourself consumed by thoughts about your children's well-being, development, and future. You might find yourself waking up every morning with a sense of dread, already thinking about all the potential challenges your kid might face that day. You worry about their health, planning their meal to ensure it meets all nutritional guidelines. You might obsess over whether they're eating enough vegetables, getting the right vitamins, and avoiding, of course, any potential allergens. Your worries are likely to extend to their safety as well. When your child walks to school, you might feel constant anxiety about their safety. You might check your phone repeatedly, anxiously awaiting a message confirming they have arrived safely at school. You find yourself overthinking small decisions, such as whether to allow your kid to go to a friend's birthday party. You worry about the social dynamics, the food that will be served, and even the games they might play. Imagining various worst-case scenarios, from your child feeling left out to getting hurt, and that can make it difficult for you to make any decisions. And at night, your mind might get overwhelmed with these worst-case scenarios. You imagine your kid struggling academically, being bullied at school, or facing health issues. Even when your child is doing well, you might find it hard to shake off these fears and always anticipating what could go wrong next. Eternally, you may feel exhausted and on the edge, and this constant state of anxiety make it challenging to enjoy the present moment with your kid. Now, another common trait is a strong desire to meet the expectations of others. This can make it hard to say no, leading to taking on too many commitments and put your own needs last. You might find yourself being the go-to person in your family or neighborhood. Perhaps you volunteer at your children's school, coordinate community events or family events, and are always ready to babysit for friends in need. Saying no to requests for help feels almost impossible, as you don't like disappointing others and being seen as uncaring. And these people-pleasing tendencies mean that your schedule is constantly filled with commitments, leaving little time to no time for yourself. Even when you're exhausted, you feel compelled to say yes to additional requests. You believe that by being there for everyone else, you are fulfilling your role as a good mom and friend. And when you finally have a moment to yourself, relaxing might feel like an impossible task. Your mind races with thoughts about what needs to be done next. You worry about whether you have met everyone's expectations and needs, and if you have forgotten any important tasks. Even during family time, being fully present can be challenging. You might be physically there, playing with your kids or watching a movie, but your mind is elsewhere, planning the next day's activities, thinking about upcoming commitments, thinking about work, thinking about family, and worrying about what you might have missed. You might feel constantly stretched thin. You may have difficulty finding joy in your daily activities and connecting deeply with your own needs and desires. And this difficulty in relaxing can also affect your sleep. So you might lie awake at night, replaying the day's events and worrying about the next day, which makes your anxiety worse and leaves you feeling even more depleted. And despite these challenges with high-function anxiety, you appear highly capable and successful, managing your household, career, and children's activities efficiently. But this doesn't mean you're struggling any less. You might find yourself waking up with tension headaches that linger throughout the day. Muscle tensions, particularly in your neck and shoulders, could be a constant pain. Digestive issues such as stomachache and bloating might flare up, especially when you're particularly anxious or overwhelmed. Fatigue may be a regular presence, even though you get a reasonable amount of sleep each night. Now, these physical symptoms are manifestations of high-function anxiety, but you might dismiss them as just part of being a busy mom. Now, despite these challenges, you might appear to be thriving. Perhaps you excel at your work, consistently receiving praise for your performance and dedication. You manage your household with the same level of efficiency, ensuring that your children are well cared for and that their schedules run smoothly. Your kids might be involved in various activities and you're proud to be an active and engaged parent. From the outside, you seem to have it all together. You attend every school meeting and maintain a spotless home. Friends and colleagues might often comment on how impressed they are by your ability to balance everything so seamlessly. However, beneath the surface, you might be struggling. The constant pressure to perform at a high level in all areas of your life takes a significant toll on your mental and emotional health. You often push through overwhelm and exhaustion because you believe that that's what you're supposed to do. You feel a need to prove yourself, both at work and at home. And you might feel a deep-seated fear of being judged by society if you do so ask for help. The pressure to be a supermom is massive, and there is a societal expectation that you should be able to handle everything on your own with grace and ease. You worry that reaching out for support will make others see you as weak or incapable or a bad mom. So you often work late into the night, sacrificing sleep, sacrificing personal time, social connections to ensure everything gets done. You feel that immense pressure to prove that you can handle it all, even when you're overwhelmed. And high-function anxiety may lead you to adopt certain coping mechanisms. You may find your days packed from morning to night. So to keep up with your demanding schedule, you might rely heavily on caffeine, starting your day with multiple cups of coffee and continue throughout the day, thinking that it's going to help you stay alert and focused. And to manage your stress, you might often immerse yourself in work while your kids at school, using it as a way to distract yourself from your worries. Additionally, you might occasionally turn to overeating to ease your anxiety. You might often skip meals and grab unhealthy, convenient snacks because you're too busy to prepare nutritious food for yourself, even though you do it for everyone else. You might feel guilty to take time for yourself or do anything for yourself, convinced that you should always be doing something for someone else. You might be known for your busy schedule. You work full-time or you have a side business. You're active in your children's lives and manage the household. And despite your busy life, you might often feel overwhelmed and drained by social interactions, and as a result, you begin to withdraw from social events and friendships. Maybe you used to enjoy meeting friends for coffee. However, the anxiety makes you feel so exhausted by the end of the day, so you start staying at home more often. You worry about being judged or not living up to others' expectations if you share your struggles, which makes you more reluctant to go out. And when you do, you might feel a constant sense of unease. You keep thinking about how you're being seen and whether you're saying the right things and how other people see you. Alright, to finish off today's episode, I also want to highlight that yes, while high function anxiety presents many challenges, it also drives several positive traits. Your anxiety pushes you to be extremely reliable. You might be the person everyone can count on, whether it's your children, your family, or friends, or your co-workers. You never miss a deadline. You always follow through on your commitments, doctor's appointments, and you are known for your dependability. You pay very close attention to detail and strive for excellence in everything you do. Whether you're planning a birthday party for your child or preparing a presentation for work, your meticulous nature ensures that everything is well organized and executed flawlessly. Your anxiety also fosters a strong sense of responsibility and empathy. As a mom, you are deeply attuned to your kids' needs and emotions. You are proactive in addressing their concerns, their fears, their worries, ensuring they feel supported and understood. And your empathy extends to others as well, making you a compassionate partner, friend, and co-worker who is always ready to lend an ear or offer assistance. I really hope today's episode has given you some insight into what high function anxiety looks like in moms. And please know that you are not alone on this journey. There is support available to help you navigate these challenges. And if you need my support, that is exactly what we're gonna cover inside the Peace with Anxiety program. And if you're looking for one-on-one individual support, I provide counseling services for Australian residents and also rapid transformational therapy wherever you are in the world. If you have any questions or if you have any topics you'd like me to cover in future episodes, please reach out. I'm here to support you every step of the way. Thank you for listening. Until next time, take care of yourself and remember, you're doing an amazing job. Thank you for listening to the Peace with Anxiety podcast. If you found any value in today, I would really appreciate if you would leave me a review and share this episode on your Instagram story, tagging me at Irene, the Anxiety Therapist. Also make sure you subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss an episode. All the links are found below in the show notes. Thank you for listening and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.